Okay, so in this video, we will be looking at Brandon, or Bouncy Brandon. He has a 40-inch vert at 14 years old. I don't know how old he is now. I just learned that from his Instagram. Hey, Brandon. I'm so happy to be doing this for you. So we're going to be looking at his attacks from a tournament, it looks like. In this first play, it's a decent dig past 11 feet off the net, and he gets set a pipe, just kind of the cop out for the setter. And he hits it right into the block. What I would tell you on this is to always be looking to swing this crossbody to the setter over to the left. Or if it's the oppo, you still get the setter setting the ball from over his shoulder. So try to also look at the blockers. I mean, there's two right up in front of you. But if there weren't, you would have hit an okay ball to the libero, which isn't most ideal. So unless you're getting a really good swing, I wouldn't hit it to the right side of the court on a bic. So you probably should have just chopped this ball to the left. My second play, this ball is set off the net. It's kind of out of system. Setter tries to put a little bit of tempo on this. It was actually a really good set. The block was almost fully formed. So it looks like, Brandon, you try to bring this ball back to the line or maybe hit it in the seam. If you notice, the middle is a little bit late, which middles are almost always a little bit late. So in this situation, it's not set perfectly on the net, and the ball's coming from really far off the net. So it's hard to have the range that you want, especially with the fully formed block. So it looks like you just hit your hardest ball. You hit your power shot. You saw it was a good set, so you just went for it, not really thinking too much of where you were hitting. But a great swing in this situation would just be in the corner, in the back corner. So hit this ball cross court. Probably won't get the kill, but in this situation, if you hit that ball kind of high, maybe a foot over the net, you would have cleared the middle blocker, and there's a good chance you would have gotten a free ball back or an easy ball, and then you could have recycled and gotten another chance. You could have tried a tool, but that's just a really risky move. So I think you should just work on doing those high, deep corner swings, especially when the ball's set off the net like this, or set from off the net. It's just hard to hit that ball coming from over your shoulder, even if it's a really good set like this. Alright, so that was actually really good. I mean, it was just a kind of a super out of system. You're just trying to get some sort of attack. You did the right job of hitting it towards the left. The only thing I would say is try to stay a little more leaning forward. You approach from really far to the right. If you could just keep your body upright and a little more balanced, lean forward, maybe follow through to the left. Instead of leaning back so much, you lose a lot of power and control that way. Alright, so this is a really good swing. You did a great transition. Your timing was good. Looks like you guys are setting the ball decently fast. And it was just a good set, good finish. With this ball in the seam, that was good. Alright, on this ball, you transitioned fine, but it looks like you're coming in. You didn't actually come in too early here, but you are on your left step right now. So you only have 2 more steps. So I think this is kind of a problem that you're starting your step choice so far back already. You're setting here and you're already on your left step from 12 feet off the net. So there's no chance that you're going to be step closing. Let's say the ball is 5 feet inside. There's no chance you're taking only 2 steps to get to that ball. So you didn't really come in early here, but you see the set and the set's inside, and you take your first step to the left. So you could have worked with this set if you had just waited on this step a little bit and taken that more to the right and taken a really big step close. So maybe you were expecting him to set it a little faster, um, but I think you should consider thinking about your footwork and what step you're on as the setter setting the ball. So perfectly in system, let's say you're running it really fast and it's a perfect set, you would want to be on this step. But you would want this step to be more near the 9 foot line, 8 foot line, so you could take a better approach. Ball super far off the net. You should maybe be on your right step, still having 3 more steps. So right here, you should probably be on your right foot, able to take 3 more as the ball is coming out of his hands. He's, what, 14 feet off the net. Probably shouldn't be running tempo from here, unless you're Micah Ma or Micah Christensen. That's the big thing. The step close. You just took that first step in the wrong direction. So I like your transition. You're really working hard. You're turning and running. That's great. You're coming a little too far off the net, I think. You can get a little bit wider and maybe not so far off. Get more of a 45-degree angle. And again, your left foot is all the way over here. So now you only have 2 more steps. So set's kind of inside, and you're jumping from all the way over here. And it just shows that you're not able to get your feet there. So now you're reaching, you're on your way down, you're forced to tip. So I don't know if you guys look like you're trying to set tempo even with your libero. I would just shorten that approach a lot. Shorten it a lot. You should be on your left step near the 10-foot line. It'll just allow you to get some more balls. So here, same thing happens. Get wide. Your 2 steps are on the line, which is okay. The problem is you're coming in straight, so it's not really going to allow you to broad jump into the court if this set's inside like it was. So if you come at more of an angle, you'll be able to broad jump into the court. All right, so this is okay. You got a decent swing out of this, but you come inside, you pass this seam, and then you just kind of sit there for a little bit and you watch. So as soon as you pass this ball, even if it's not the best pass, you should be working hard to transition. Even if you got right here, you would have been more balanced and been able to get a better swing and not had to have leaned so far back. Because right now you're leaning back, losing a lot of power, losing that line shot. So it looks like you just tried to bounce this ball. It was a good set. And you got a little greedy. The blocker was there. It's okay, it happens. That's fine, just recycling that ball, taking a 0. So here you're early on this one too. Setter sets it a little high. What I would recommend you guys do is slow down a lot. You guys, I don't think should be running the ball as fast as you guys are. I think this set is perfect, and you should probably be going for this type of set every time. And then your hitters can slow down. You'll be able to get your feet there. The tempo that you guys are running that is just really difficult. You have to set the ball almost perfect, and especially if you're not 6'5", you're gonna have to. If you're shorter, you're gonna be jumping earlier, right? So you're not gonna be able to adjust to sets that aren't as good. So if you're bigger, you can run it faster. If you don't have such a good setter, or you need to have a really good setter. So I would tell you guys to just slow it down a lot. Right now you're on your third to last step, only doing a step close after the setter sets the ball. I would slow that down to even 3 steps after. So here, setter's not jumping, so he should probably do a high ball. You're coming from way back here, which I think is just way too far. Maybe it would be okay if you guys were running a high ball, but he didn't even set this ball that high. And you're just coming in really early. See how far away from the set you're approaching from and you're jumping from? You're jumping from almost 10 feet off the net. And then now you're like really having to reach. You're not able to hit this ball as high as you can touch. And you're just giving away where you're hitting really early because of this. If you get your feet there and you get more under it, you'll have more range. The blockers won't know where you're hitting. So I like that. Taking it on 2. Try to throw him off guard. Maybe just hit it to the left. That would be my only advice. I know a lot of people like to do the jump set on 2. I like to do that too. So I like the aggressiveness. So here, yeah, your setter's really trying to set tempo on this, sets it super far inside. The only way I see you adjusting to this is if you start your approach from maybe 11 feet off the net and like right here on the corner, and then just cutting in super far inside. That would allow you to get your feet there and then even broad jump inside and beat the blockers inside. But right now you're coming from so far off and you're coming in straight. There's no way you're going to be able to hit this ball well. So that was a good set. You had room. Your timing was better there, which is unfortunate swing. Yeah, so I think that just wasn't a great set. Maybe you could have started a little bit more inside to cut this ball off. You're like all the way on the line. You're doing a good job of going straight from the right. From the right, you want to go straight on it, but you're all the way to the right. So you're assuming that your setter is going to push it all the way. Most setters can't do that. So I would just start a foot or 2 inside to adjust to this ball. Then you would have been able to hit it line. Okay, here the set was really far off the net, super far inside, and you're doing the same thing of starting your step close from really far away from it. You should be on your right foot right now, and that would give you 3 more steps to get your feet under this ball to get a better swing. So on this one, you approach from a decently good spot. You're still jumping from around 8 feet off the net. If I were you, I would go a little bit wider so you're not having to lean back on this ball. As the libero is setting the ball, you're still moving back. All right, so I think you should get stopped just a little bit sooner. Maybe not transition so far. So you could just be stopped earlier and make a better read for this ball. That was a great swing. So here, you didn't transition really. You're taking your approach from very far inside the court. Try to get in a habit of being consistent with your with your transition. Like, try to find the same spot that you want to get to each time. I think that should be right around the pole, outside the court, and wide, 12 feet off the net. So here, this one too. You're not jumping from a great spot. I can tell you're reaching and you're kind of hanging here, hitting it on your way down. If you just slow down maybe the speed of the set and take your approach from a little closer, you'll be able to recognize where the set is, and then you'd be able to get your feet under the ball or more to the ball. Right now, I think your biggest problem, and I'm probably going to say this for the rest of the video, is you're jumping from the wrong spots. And I think that's just because you're going into it maybe a little too fast, or maybe you're just not thinking about it. But really try to recognize where the set is and then take that big step close to the ball. I'm probably going to say the same thing for the rest of this video. See there too, the set was outside and you took your approach inside, and then you have to jump back now. So just be a little bit more patient. Yeah, they're coming in a little earlier in that one. Or you're coming in a little too early. Okay, so on this one, look at your line of approach. Right now you're coming from inside the court and you're going away from the setter. You're going straight towards this pole. And you're not really turning back in. You're barely kind of turning in, but you're going right now straight for the antenna. So the ball needs to be going through the antenna if you're gonna hit this ball. And so far, it's looked like none of the sets have actually gone through the antenna, but all of them are either dropping inside or being exactly like this, kind of up and down, landing a few feet inside. The only way you're going to be able to get that ball, if you want to jump from around the line right here, is if you really transition hard outside and take your approach diagonal into the court. So I'm not surprised that happened. These are good swings. That was a bad set. So on that ball, you could have just set it over. I think that would have been the safest option, especially in a tournament. Like, if these games matter, I would just take this with two hands and set it over if you're able to. Which I think you could have. Yeah, so here, if you look at the distance of your steps, so look at like the distance between your feet right here, and then look at the distance between your feet here, and then here. So like, you want these steps to be a little closer to each other. So you actually did a big step. You're close. This is a big step. That was good. But you actually stopped it short a little bit. I think you could have taken a bigger first step so that these feet are a little closer together. Nice. I know you got greedy on that one. It was a perfect set. Just try to bounce it, I'm sure. Nice. That was a great swing. Nice. That was probably the best thing you could have done with that. Just tip it right in the middle. So this too. Okay, so it seems like most of your sets are inside like this. I don't know. Maybe you guys are running a lob, um, but this would be a better approach, considering the offense you guys are running. Is if you just go straight into it like this. I would recommend you transition, but it seems like most of the balls are getting caught inside, and you have little range. Because you didn't transition, you're actually able to get to this ball. If that was a lob, you let me know. But I think most of your setters' sets have been super far inside like that. Okay, so the thing I would tell you is to slow down your approach. You're transitioning really far and you're coming in at like a really, really fast tempo, which I don't think your team should be running something that fast. At the level that you're at, you should slow it down. I know you watch probably high level players and you're used to seeing this speed, but I would just slow it down. Also, don't transition so deep. Get wider and closer to the net. So maybe 12 feet off the net max. You're not huge, so you're not taking massive steps with your legs. Um, and make sure that your right step, you're taking your right step as the setter is setting the ball. So you still have 3 more steps. I know it's going to feel weird. Talk to your setter, slow it down. This is going to allow you to get your feet under the ball. And once you get this slower tempo and you start to get your feet under the ball and start recognizing that, then I think you can speed it up, and you can send me videos of that, and I'll let you know if I think you're ready to start going quicker. But transition wider, not so far back, slow it down. Make sure you're getting your feet to the ball, because a lot of times you're just jumping, not recognizing where the set is, and then you're in the wrong spot and you're having to reach or you're on your way down. So that's what I would say for you. You had some pretty good swings in there. I love that you love volleyball. It's super cool to see. I've seen your Instagram. And thanks for doing this.